right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
A shakeup in school leadership.
The timing couldn't be worse.
What's in store for St. Louis Public Schools now that the superintendent is out?
Weekend washout? No way. But we will have to deal with rain at times when you're most likely to need an indoor option as you schedule your weekend plans.
A police department days away from closing.
Very proud of the department. And it's a shame that we just don't have the revenue to continue to do it.
How Calverton Park is handling the public safety shift. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson. In less than a week, the Calverton Park Police Department will no longer be existing. Hours ago, the Board of Aldermen approved a contract to allow the Florissant Police Department to take over the Small Communities Police Department. In a story you will only see on 5 on Your Side, Robert Townsend takes us to North County with details on what led to this decision.
During a quick Zoom meeting Friday that lasted less than 15 minutes, Calverton Park's Board of Aldermen made a major decision regarding its police department.
Aye.
The board voted unanimously 4-0 and approved a contract allowing the Florissant Police Department to take over Calverton Park's Police Department.
I'm not very happy about it. I'm very proud of the department. And it's a shame that we just don't have the revenue to continue to do it.
Mayor James Panovich says in 2021 and 2022, the coronavirus pandemic hit their small community of 1,300 extremely hard.
The pandemic really did us in economically. It cut our revenues, but our expenses were not cut.
He says as a result, the city struggled and had to borrow $200,000 from the state.
That kind of got us through the pandemic. That loan is now due.
Calverton Park cannot pay off the loan by the September deadline. Plus,
it's been tough trying to find officers. Impossible.
The mayor says their only solution, shut down their police department.
I don't have the money, and even if I had the money, I can't find the people. So it's a double-edged sword.
Dave and Dixie Robbins have lived in Calverton Park for years.
Do you wish Calverton Park Police Department would have stayed?
Yeah, but I realized the money constraint, it couldn't happen.
I think it's okay. I lived in Florissant, and I was always pleased with the Florissant Police Department.
A total of 8 employees work for the city of Calverton Park. 4 police officers, interim police chief Sean Gibbons, 1 city clerk, and 2 court clerks. Currently, the starting salary for a Calverton Park police officer is about $38,000.
All of them that apply will be seriously considered for full-time positions, yes. That's what the mayor and the chief of police have promised us.
At 11:59 on July 31st, this sign you see at the Calverton Police Department will come down, and on August 1st, Florissant Police will officially take over here. Robert Townsend, 5 on Your Side.
New details tonight in a story we have been following all day. The superintendent of St. Louis Public Schools is now on temporary leave. The abrupt decision coming just weeks before the start of the school year. 5 on Your Side's Brent Solomon has details and reaction from a concerned parent.
I have 3, 17, 16, and 14. And, oh, Jesus, Lord, I don't even want to say this, but all of them will be in high school in August.
Dejanelle Freeman is what you call an involved parent, especially when it comes to her children's education.
When I go to the school, everybody knows me. I think it's important for you to show up, for them to see your face. I've noticed over the years that the children who don't have visible parents kind of fall by the wayside.
It's why she was surprised to learn the superintendent of St. Louis Public Schools is suddenly out, less than a year after being on the job. The district confirming Dr. Keisha Scarlett is on temporary leave. Sources say there are concerns over how the district is spending its money.
The timing couldn't be worse. School starts in a month. Kind of off-putting. I would really like to know the reason behind it, actually, because then maybe I could understand it a little bit better.
As soon as we learned the news, we met with the local teachers union.
Our phones have been lit up in text and phone calls, but you know, we're limited to what we can say. Everybody has a right to due process, and we don't think there should be any rush to judgment.
As the district gets to the bottom of whatever concerns there are, Byron Clemens wants to put parents at ease.
I think parents should have a high level of confidence in this elected school board that they're going to do the right thing with taxpayer dollars and their responsibility.
I just expect an honest and a solid, grounded leader. Like, I can't follow uncertainty or shakiness. I need things to be firm.
Brent Solomon, 5 on your side.
And right now, the Deputy Superintendent, Dr. Millicent Borishade, is stepping up to lead the district. Dr. Scarlett hired her after they worked together in Washington State. A St. Louis jury ruled that baby formula manufacturer Abbott Laboratories must pay $495 million to a family whose baby got sick after drinking their formula. This is only the second trial of its kind in the country. Margot Gill filed the lawsuit after her baby was born premature and developed a rare disease that has left her unable to walk or talk. That lawsuit claimed Abbott knew the risk of developing the disease in premature babies but failed to warn parents. Abbott says it strongly disagrees with the verdict, and they believe no one is to blame for the baby's condition. Today, Sonya Massey's family learned more about her death weeks after she was killed in her Springfield home. New autopsy reports say Massey died after being shot in the head from above at a downward trajectory by now former Deputy Sean Gray. She was on the ground after saying she was sorry and ducked behind her kitchen counter.
I heard the first 2 shots in the video, that those shots didn't hit her. It's like he reached around to purposely hit her, and that's the hurtful part. I feel like if he felt he made a mistake, that 3rd shot wouldn't have went off, the one that took her eye.
Many communities across the country plan to rally on Sunday honoring Massey's memory, including one here in St. Louis. Tonight, we're tackling a problem that has frustrated drivers across Missouri for years: expired license plates. Our senior investigative reporter, Paula Fasson, takes us for a ride with the Missouri State Highway Patrol for an up-close look at the problem. She reveals how widespread it is, the risks it poses to public safety, and what lawmakers are doing to address it.
When it comes to remembering to renew your license plate, some have helpful reminders.
My mom told me.
Others have the force of habit.
I've been driving 50 years.
Yet drive on any Missouri road, and it's no secret that expired license plates represent a big problem. They're against the law.
270 is a huge corridor.
We took a ride with Dallas Thompson of the Missouri State Highway Patrol to see just how big of a problem it really is.
Clearly a violation there. It's a blue sticker, it's a 22 sticker.
It didn't take long to find cars with expired plates. Some expired last month, others years ago. We also found people driving around with expired temporary tags. In general, they should only be used for up to 30 days in Missouri.
It's not a new problem.
But now, he says drivers are more frustrated than ever.
They're complaining to us and sending in pictures to us.
Last year, the Missouri State Highway Patrol issued over 16,000 tickets and nearly 40,000 warnings for unregistered vehicles. Turns out, that impacts everyone on the road. If you find yourself in an accident with an unregistered car, chances are it's also uninsured. Thompson tells the I-Team that means repair costs fall back on you and your insurance. Premiums may spike. Expired plates also mean the state is missing out on funding for critical projects, like improving our roads. In the past 3.5 years, expired temp tags have cost the state nearly $145 million. Thompson is hoping a new law may be a solution. Starting in 2026, you'll need to pay sales tax up front when buying a car. Overdue sales tax payments are common culprits of expired temporary tags. For drivers like Kathy Lammers, stricter enforcement can't come soon enough.
And I'm thinking, people, you're supposed to do the right thing.
What's your message to drivers?
But just be planning, I know I'm going to pay X amount of dollars for my vehicle. I also going to have X amount of dollars for my sales tax and to buy the license and title.
A way to make sure cars on the road are safe to be there. For the I-Team, Paula Vassan, 5 on your side.
If you have a tip for Paula, leave a message to the number 314-444-5231. You can also email her directly at pfassan@ksdk.com. All calls and correspondence will be kept confidential. Celebrating the ceremony and speaking the language.
Some of our students at the Alliance are going.
We take you to an area French school for their watch party.
The humidity stays up and the rain chances go up at times this weekend. The weather impact forecast timing out the best chance of rain and when it arrives in your area in 7 minutes.
And communities across the bi-state hosted watch parties of tonight's opening ceremony. Annie Kroll, you were here because you went party hopping.
A little bit, Kelly. You're not wrong, but it was festive, it was patriotic, but of course, as you just saw, it was really rainy in Paris, so I'm so glad we were inside watching the opening ceremony. But more importantly, there were some beautiful cross-cultural experiences happening here in Missouri. So, Kelly, this one blew me away. Take a look.
American athletic legends like Steph Curry and LeBron James dodged the raindrops but rode the waves of the Seine to commemorate the 100 years since the last time the Olympics were in Paris in 1924, making this backdrop all the more beautiful for people attending watch parties closer to home and on the big screen.
It's Paris, for goodness sakes.
At 9 Mile Garden in Afton, Alan and Jane Bealey watched the opening ceremony live, starting at 12:30 p.m. Friday.
It's so different. Going down the river is just incredible.
That river hit a little closer to home for Isabelle Heidbreder, executive director of Alliance Française de Saint-Louis, a French language school in University City.
Welcome to the Alliance. We're very, very glad you're here.
A French Riviera native, Heidbreder has spent decades teaching people in St. Louis ranging from 6 months to 90 about the language and French culture.
Just, sit at a cafe and you watch people go by and you can guess, you say, they're Americans.
The school hosted its own Olympics watch party Friday night, stretching the language skills of their students.
Vive les Jeux. This is Vive les Jeux, long live the Games.
As the U.S. Olympians stretch for their first heats this weekend, especially the dynamic swimming sibling duo born in St. Louis, 19-year-old Aaron Shackle in the 400-meter freestyle and 17-year-old Alex Shackle in the 200-meter butterfly, both competing in their first Olympics.
All right, so I have a feeling the Shackle siblings' athleticism in their genes.
It must be, and that's the thing. You have this 19-year-old with Aaron. He's trying to beat his Olympic trial times where he won in the 400-meter freestyle. That was a 3:45.46 time, incredible. But then you have not even 18-year-old Alex, who's in arguably one of the most gruesome heats going into tomorrow with the 200-meter butterfly. But then their parents, Nick is the father, he swam with Great Britain, 1996 Atlanta Games, and then their mom, Kelly, you're gonna love this, 3-time All-American swimmer. She also did freestyle and butterfly. Sounds a little bit like her kids.
Oh boy, that's impressive. And I have a feeling though that you are not cheering for USA.
I don't know. What gave me away, Kelly?
I love it though.
Absolutely.
It's a great way to
Incredible
kick
story.
off the game.
So excited for the next 3 weeks.
Yes. All right, Scott, we were talking about the weather and how rainy it was. Yes. And it felt more like London weather.
Yeah, you can text, 314-425-5355. Yeah, text that word Paris, and we'll send you a link to everything you need to know about what's going to happen during the Olympics. Interesting opening ceremony tonight, not in the usual setting, but coming down the River Seine. And of course, it was pretty soggy in Paris today. Here at home, we eluded the rain today around St. Louis, most of it down to our south, but we're still tracking this area of moisture down to the south of us. It'll be sliding in as we head into tomorrow. One thing we were not able to leave behind as that front sauntered onto the south of St. Louis today, the humidity. It is still sultry. Dew points are still around 70 degrees at this hour. So we have the humidity. We're warm. What's the weather impact as that system pushes our way? Well, there'll be some scattered showers and thunderstorms picking up tomorrow afternoon, maybe some downpours, but it's not going to be a continuous widespread rain. Although most of us before the weekend is over will see rain. Those rain chances will increase by Saturday evening. The overnight rain chances, especially far eastern portions of Missouri, St. Louis, going into Illinois, much of the night, heading into early Sunday, and then we'll break back out, as you'll see in just a moment, into more scattered activity. It's 79 degrees right now. A dew point of 69 makes it feel like it's 82. We can't get rid of that humidity, and it's going to stay muggy right into the upcoming week. 88 was our high. We're not going to drop out of the 70s in town tonight. And early next week, Those overnight lows will be creeping closer to 80. Outlying areas tonight down into the 60s. Your hour-by-hour forecast for tomorrow should start off dry, partly to mostly cloudy. Clouds do thicken. After lunchtime, our rain chances roll in. They're rolling in from the south as that moisture creeps to the north and that front tries to move back to the north. So by 4 or 5 o'clock in St. Louis, have some backup plans if you have outdoor activities, because there will be showers, maybe some rumbles of thunder around the area. Not expecting severe weather. That lifts to the north, but watch this area kind of fill in right along the river into Illinois through the overnight hours into early Sunday. Then we'll break back into that more isolated scattered shower and thunderstorm action as we go into Sunday afternoon, and it tends to diminish a bit as we head towards Sunday evening. So when we break that down over the next 7 days, your shower and thunderstorm chances are definitely around this weekend, heading into the beginning of the week, but then your temperatures start jumping up. And we're back into the mid to upper 90s for highs as we head towards Wednesday and Thursday. Is there a chance we'll see some thunderstorms give us a break from that heat and humidity? Well, it'll try to break the heat to some degree at times next week, but that's not a guarantee. We think the threat of severe weather is mostly north and northeast of St. Louis for next week, but not dealing with that this weekend.
Good. And it is almost August, so we need to expect this
It's the
return
dog
to the
days
90s.
of summer, yeah.
All right, Scott. Here's Corey with
We have a
sports.
couple of St. Louis athletes ready to shine in Paris tomorrow. The Cardinals honored some all-time great teams tonight and also had a pretty wild finish in extra innings at Busch. Sports is coming up next after the break. It's here. The pageantry of the opening ceremony is in the books, and it is time to get to the games. We do not waste any time in seeing our St. Louis athletes in action at the Paris Olympics. Here's who to watch for on day one tomorrow. Francis Howell and SLU alum Patrick Schulte will be in net as the U.S. men's soccer team takes on New Zealand. That game kicks off at noon St. Louis time. STL native Aaron Shackle competes in the pool tomorrow, as Annie told you about. He'll have a 400-meter freestyle heat at 4:45 a.m. with a final coming up at 1:42 p.m. While the eyes of the world are on Paris, the eyes of St. Louis are on the Cardinals front office. The trade deadline is looming, and while we wait to see if the Cards participate in all that wheeling and dealing, they will take on the Nationals on the field. Awesome pregame ceremony for Game 1 tonight. Familiar faces back for the 20th anniversary of the 04 NL champions. LaRussa, Klein, Sanders, Rowland. Members of the 1964 World Series championship team also reunited. And former Big Red tight end Jackie Smith threw out the first pitch. That's a pregame. Now to the game. Cards down 2-0 early. Here's Mason Wynn. He gets into one for his 6th homer of the year. We are tied at 2. Then it's a guy we all want to see get going with the power stroke. Nolan Arenado just going to sneak one out to left. 3-run bomb, 5-2 Cards. Not a great night for Sonny Gray. 5 innings, 5 earned runs. Alec Burleson bails him out here with a nice catch in left to end the 5th inning. Nats would tie it at 6 in the 7th, though. Old friend Juan Yepes had a night. There's a sac fly that tied the game. We would go to extras in this one. Ryan Fernandez almost out of it with 2 outs. Gets a fly ball. Dylan Carlson breaks in at first. The ball goes just over his glove. 3-run score on that one. The Nats scored another in the inning as well. Cardinals got 2 back on a Goldie homer in the bottom of the 10th. That was his 2000th career hit. But that's all she wrote. Nats win 10-8.
You score 8 against these guys, you got to be able to put them away. Very uncharacteristic of us to walk 8, 1 intentionally, but 7 free passes. That's not something we've done all year. It's actually a strength of ours, making the other side earn it.
While the Cardinals play, we get to speculate. It's trade deadline season after all. Nothing from the Cards so far, but Tampa Bay has been active. They traded former Cardinal Randy Arozarena to Seattle last night. Today, he took in one last game in the stands in Tampa. Never seen that before. The Rays also sent starter Zach Eflin to the Orioles for a few minor leaguers. Eflin was one of the top starters available on the market. The deadline looms on Tuesday.
This 5 on Your Side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
There are 9 games left in the MLS schedule. City SC won't play another MLS game for about a month. In the meantime, they'll be competing in the League's Cup and getting their new additions up to speed. It all starts tomorrow at home in the group stage against Dallas. And about those new additions, we saw Cedric Teuchert and Jake Girdwood-Wright briefly in the previous game against Kansas City. Tomorrow we're expecting to see that pair along with the city debut for Marcel Hartle. It's not hard to tell, Coach Hackworth is very excited about the new offensive talent on his roster.
It's amazing. But I sit here, match day -1 and tell you it's awesome. And at the same time, we haven't gone out there and done anything. So that chance for us is now that can we take all that positive energy that we feel about what we see on the training field, and can that translate into a really good performance and hopefully a really good result tomorrow?
And we're starting about 2.5 weeks of me sitting down on the couch, flipping through and seeing any kind of sporting event I can watch from the Olympics on. Badminton, table tennis, kayaking, whatever you got, sign me up.
I know, it's everything. Don't they even have breakdancing too?
Breakdancing, first time this year. I have no idea how it's going to work.
I want to see that too.
Don't ask me to break it down on the 10 o'clock news, but should be fun to watch.
That would be a sight to see. All right, Corey. Still to come, giving back to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. How our community came through once again for the Folds of Honor campaign. This year, Schnucks Roundup at the Register raised more than $200,000 for Folds of Honor. To celebrate the achievement, a massive check was presented to the organization today at Busch Stadium. The money would go to giving scholarships to the spouses and children of veterans, officers, and first responders hurt or killed in the line of duty. And this weekend, Grants Farm is hosting a back-to-school drive. Guests who bring in school supplies can get $2 off their admission to the Summer Nights drone show. They could use notebooks, pencils, pens, markers, glue, any type of school supplies. Thanks so much for joining us. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next. Have a great weekend.